superpower, but Europe was decimated, Asia was in ashes, Africa was, as always, a non-starter, and the Muslim world was primitive. We held in our hands a weapon that all we had to do was go to any other nation and say, we will use this. If you don't let us take you over, they would have let us. We had that power, and we didn't even take over Canada.
Evan Sayet discussing American exceptionalism at a recent event along with Ann Coulter and Dinesh D'Souza. Now, Evan has become the nation's leading conservative political comedian. He's also widely sought after host for Republican and conservative events. And what better way to finish up on a Friday than by welcoming Evan Sayet? And we should point out, Evan is the author of a book as well that we can take a look at. There it is, The Kindergarten of Eden. Perfect name, How the Modern Liberal Thinks. Evan Sayet, thanks for joining us here on Newsmax Prime. As I understand it, pre-9/11, you classified yourself as a knee-jerk liberal. What happened?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, JD. But I was never a thoughtful liberal. You know, I don't believe there is such a thing as a thoughtful liberal. It was just sort of the default factory setting for a New York-born Jew. The deepest political thoughts I'd had growing up were the same ones that liberals always have. I knew that Democrats are good, Republicans are evil. I knew that I'm good, so I must be a Democrat. You know, I knew Democrats like air, Republicans hate the air. I like air, I must be a Democrat. Well, suddenly, even as a brain-dead liberal, 9/11 didn't surprise me. I knew just enough about the world to know the same people who were massacring Hindus in India and Jews in Israel and kids in Russia because they were the closest infidels would come and kill the big infidel. What stunned me was the days and the weeks, the months afterwards, and the liberal response to the attacks. The idea that we deserved them, that it was the chickens coming home to roost, this was insane to me, JD. And so I had to start to think, do I believe that? And I have an expression, the first time you think is the last time you're a Democrat.
Well, you got this old conservative laughing at that line, Evan, but I'm wondering about a description that has been offered your way. The Christian Post in an op-ed called you the right's Bill Maher. Is that a compliment in your mind?
Well, yeah, in the idea that I am a partisan, and I don't deny that I'm a partisan. And that, you know, back when I was still on the left, I wrote Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher for about 6 years. So it's very much the same attitude because I wrote the show, only now I have a clearer target because the job that I'm doing is ridiculing the ridiculous. I'm ridiculing the left.
Now, I'm interested in your book, and I love that title, Kindergarten of Eden, How the Modern Liberal Thinks. 30 seconds. Can you summarize that outlook?
30 seconds, now 29 because I'm fumbling. But the modern liberal is not allowed to think. To the modern liberal, thinking is an act of bigotry. Objectivity is impossible because we have so many prejudices that the only way not to be a bigot is to never think at all. But it's the second part of this that's really important. If you don't recognize something as better than anything else, if no religion, no culture, no form of government, if nothing is better than anything else, then success is unjust. Why should a person, a culture, a nation, or religion succeed if it's better than any other? And the greater the success, the greater the injustice, which is why what the modern liberal most despises is the exceptional America, Western civilization, human life, Israel. If you look at the things they adore, they despise. It's the exceptional. If you see the things that they adore, they are the exceptionally failed, the exceptionally wrong.
Now, Evan, before we get out of here, next week you're going to be in my old district in Scottsdale, Arizona. Tell us very quickly where you're going to be.
I'm going to be at the beautiful Laugh Factory Theater, which is in Scottsdale. And this is significant. There is no other conservative political comedian who's playing mainstream comedy clubs.
We're glad you are doing it, Evan, and we appreciate it. Wish you well as you show up at the Laugh Factory. Thanks so much for your time. The name of his book again, The Kindergarten of Eden. That'll do it for tonight. J.D. Hayworth saying, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.